Blackshirts and Reds by Michael Parenti. Section: Crime and Corruption. With the socialist ethic giving way to private greed, corruption assumed virulent new forms in the post-communist nations. Officials high and low are on the take, including the police. The Russian security minister calculated that 1/3 of Russian oil and 1/2 of Russian nickel shipped out of the country was stolen. Among those enjoying, quote, staggering profits from this plunder were Shell Oil and British Petroleum. In April 1992, the chairman of Russia's central bank admitted that at least $20 billion had been illegally taken out of the country and deposited in Western banks. Choice chunks of public real estate are quietly sold off at a fraction of their value in exchange for payoffs to the officials who preside over the sales. Government officials buy goods from private contractors at twice the normal price in exchange for kickbacks. Factory directors sell state-made commodities at low state prices to their own private firms, which those firms then resell at market prices for a vast profit. One member of the Moscow City Council estimated that corruption amounted to hundreds of billions of dollars. If these funds went into state coffers instead of private pockets, quote, we could meet our budget 3 or 4 times over. End quote. From the Los Angeles Times, 1992. Along with corruption, there's an upsurge in organized crime. Over 100 racket syndicates in Russia now extort tribute from 80% of all enterprises. From 1992 to 5, as competition for the spoils of, quote, reform intensified, 46 of Russia's more prominent businessmen were slain in gangland-style murders. In 1994, there were more than 2,500 contract murders, almost all of them unsolved. Quote, contract murders occur regularly now in Russia, and most go without much notice. End quote. Police say they lack the funds, personnel, and crime detection equipment for any real campaign against the mobs. Street crime has also increased sharply. In the former Soviet Union, women and elderly who once felt free to sit in parks late at night now dare not venture out after dark. Since the overthrow of communism in Hungary, thefts and other felonies have nearly tripled, and there has been a 50% increase in homicides. The police force in Prague today is many times greater than it was under communism, when, quote, relatively few police were needed. How odd that fewer police were needed in the communist police state than in the free market paradise. In the Republic of Georgia, life has been reduced to a level of violent chaos never imagined under communism. Criminal rings control much of the commerce, and paramilitary groups control most of the criminal rings. No longer able to sell its goods on the Soviet market, but unable to compete on the international market, Georgian industry has experienced a massive decline, and, as in most Eastern countries, the public debt has leaped upward, while real wages have shrunk painfully. End of section.